Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Successful Servant Leader podcast. I am your host, Victoria Grace, faith mentor and business coach and strategist. Also self-proclaimed successful servant leader. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I just want to thank you in particular for being here with me on this journey. I know that I have not posted in a few weeks, and trust me, I'm going to make up for that. That's why you're hearing this right now. I actually am going to start this off saying good morning. Welcome. I don't know what time of day you're going to be listening to this, but for me, it is 6:20 in the morning, and I am recording this because I have to come and share my journey with you guys. This is my first day doing this, and I plan to do this for the next 10 days because I am trying to create not only a habit, but more of a lifestyle. And let me share with you what I am going to do for the next 10 days. My goal is to wake up at 5 a.m. And I kind of want to share with you guys why, this came about, why I want to wake up at 5 a.m., why would I punish myself like this when I work from home? Why would I do this at all? And this is the Successful Servant Leader podcast, which means I'm a servant leader, and the goal here is to be successful at servant leadership in all areas of my life. When it comes to faith, when it comes to business and clients and running my business, and when it comes to my marital life, when it comes to my life as a mother, and everything else kind of just boils down into that, right? And so I am going on this journey because I realized for a minute, it's been a minute, you guys. And this is why I think I shared, I don't ever usually do New Year's resolutions. I don't ever usually do anything like that. It's just never been my thing. I just always kind of go into the new year, trying to be a better me, I guess. And especially since starting this relationship with God, I never know what I'm going to find myself falling into, okay? For a minute there, I was spending time with God at night, and it would be night. It would be at night. And it would be after my son would go to sleep. I would record the podcast after he would go to sleep. And my husband would still be awake, but he would, be in a different room doing his own thing. And so that's what I was doing for a minute, and it was working. But then something started to shift. Something started not to align, and I knew that I had to make a change. And so I started to realize, like, okay, first of all, I've got to go about my days differently. Secondly, I cannot be up until midnight and think I'm going to be able to wake up before my son. And I'm saying this because I need to be up in the mornings before my son. Because once he's up, first of all, it's all about him. Like, he's a toddler, he's a child, of course. It's all about him at that point. Secondly, I can't sit here and I can't even explain to you guys how difficult it is. You may know, if you have children, how difficult it is to try to sit quietly and do anything when you have a 3-year-old running around, playing with toys, telling you he's hungry, telling you he wants more food, just being loud. He wants to watch Circle Time. He wants to do all these different things. And you guys, I'm going to be real transparent with you because you're going on this journey with me, right? I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Thank God we're able to have 2 bedrooms. Thank God we're able to have 2 bathrooms. But it's not that big, and every single corner is full of something. Every closet, there is no laundry room. There's a laundry closet. Um, and my son's closet is full. His room is full of stuff. My room full of stuff. My closet. And for a while here, I started recording and was recording at night. This was another one of my issues. I was recording at night and I noticed that you guys could hear everything in my room. Everything. The windows at this apartment are pretty thin. They are not energy efficient by any means. They are not. They're not what you want. Okay, sis. And so you guys could hear everything. And so that was one thing I was kind of like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do about this? And I know you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just spring clean? Why don't you just declutter? And I've done that. But there's only so much spring cleaning and decluttering you can do when you don't live in that big of a space. We live in a 1,000 square foot apartment, which some of you probably are like, that is huge. And I don't know. I'm struggling with that, okay? I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, right? I'm struggling with that. I'm going to try to declutter some more so that I can maybe get my hallway closet. Well, it's our hallway closet, it's our coat closet. And yes, I do live in Dallas, Texas, but yes, it also gets cold here, so we do need coats. So yeah, just to give you a little bit of insight. When I was recording, I would have to record in an open space within my room. And trying to record in an open space, my apartment is literally right on the street. You guys could hear everything. The donuts they were doing outside, all of the above, okay? The cars speeding past, even though they know they shouldn't be speeding because it is a residential area. Speeding past, all types of stuff. I could not express to you guys how often we witness car accidents outside of our window, okay? That's really just to give you some context. I might be telling a little bit too much information, but I really want to give you guys some context and how I came to what I came to today. And so that was the one thing. I was staying up later and then realizing I'm up late and I can't get up before my son. And when I can't get up before him, I can't organize my day. I'm struggling to get that time in with God. Like I need emphasis on I need. I'm struggling to kind of get my day in order and get his routine all together because guys, he's not going to school like he was when I first started this whole thing or when we first moved here to Dallas. He wasn't going to school. He started to go to school after we had been living here about 6 months because I started to go back to work. And all was well. And once the pandemic started, we decided, hey, we don't feel comfortable sending him to school. Also, we were trying to do some other things and sis daycare, he went to a preschool Montessori. That's a whole mortgage in and of itself, okay? That is a rent payment in and of itself. And so we said, this is great. He's home. We're comfortable. We know he's safe. And we're saving money. So that's the other thing. My son is home all day. So the next thing, aside from not being able to organize my day, I just cannot emphasize that enough. I am a person who needs to have time with God every single day. I am a person who needs to have some type of quiet time every single day. I'm a person who needs God's grace. If you can relate, give me some finger snaps, give me some claps, anything if you can relate. And so, yeah. He's not going to school. He's home all day. And I have been struggling to get us on a schedule. And I think that even if you don't have children, everything I'm about to share with you will apply as well. And so for the next 10 days, my plan is to intentionally be up at 5 a.m. and intentionally get on and record for you guys. The goal is to post every day, if not every other day, because like I said, I want to make up for the episodes that you guys have lost. And I just want to keep you guys up to date with me in real time. Because I feel like you signed up for this journey for a reason. You subscribed for a reason. You enjoy this podcast for a reason. You saw my original podcast artwork where I said this is the journey to breaking generational curses, building generational wealth, and becoming successful servant leader. And so I'm planning for the longevity of this. I plan for my business to thrive for years to come and to grow into a generational wealth thing. I plan for it to grow into a generational business. And so it's up to me to get that thing in order. It's up to me to get this thing in order. Okay? It's up to me to get it on the right track. And I know for a lot of you listening, you're the first of many firsts in your family, and you have been called as well to break specific curses. And I've said this before, that we can't break anything. We can't have all the power that we need to have if we don't have ourselves in order. And I mean mentally, emotionally, physically, all of the above. If we don't have ourselves in order, we can't do anything. And so welcome to day one. Welcome to day one. And I want to share with you guys how important mindfulness over mindfulness is. And so basically, to kind of tie in everything that I have been talking about, I would wake up either 5 minutes before my son, or he would come in and wake me up, and I would have no time for mindfulness, one word, and meditation on the word of God, and just spending that alone in that quiet time with God. And so my mind would be not in shambles, especially not on the first day where I wasn't able to spend time with God, right? But then that would trickle into the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. And it turned from mindfulness, one word, to mindfulness, two words. So mindfulness. My mind would just be full all the time. My thoughts would be racing. I am a recovering overthinker. I am a recovering people pleaser. I am a recovering to anything you could think of to where the mind is trying to combat you, sis. I'm recovering by God's grace and mercy. And so I found myself literally not able to do any work because I had so many thoughts. Even though I would wake up and I would write out my day. I would write things out and say, this is what I need to do today. These are my top 2 to 3 things that I had to get done. And if I had any extra time, I could do anything else. And usually the top 3 things were not including anything with my son. The top 3 things were not including cleaning up. Top 3 things were not including making dinner. Top 3 things were not including any type of self-care measures. Nothing. And if you've ever been in a situation where you overthink things, or where you easily allow your thoughts to take control, then you can definitely understand where I'm coming from. And I want to make sure I definitely touch on the biblical aspect of mindfulness, one word, and how mindfulness, two words, can really, really hinder you. really, really, really hinder you. And so if you could think of this picture in your head, there's two of you, right? You have the mindful version of you. So mindful, two words, where you have this picture of you and there's like a cloud above you, or like a thought bubble. You have every single thought in your head at every waking moment of the day. That causes anxiety. It causes lack of awareness. It causes so many different things, and they're just not good. Not good at all. And like I said, if you are somebody that can relate, then I know you're like, yes, I definitely can relate. And then if you think about mindful in one word, that is when you're able to be present and appreciative in that moment. And you're able to just spend that time with God, or you're able to just spend that time with your child, or you're able to just spend that time with your partner, or you're able to just spend that time knocking out your to-do list without the pressures of the world weighing in on you, without what your mom called you and told you yesterday about that family member, without the issues of everyday life, just filling your head while you're trying to get tasks done. And those are the two things that I really want to bring to the forefront this morning for you guys. And that's what I'm going to be combating. So before I came on this morning to record this, I had quiet time with God, and I feel so good. I feel so good. So good. I feel amazing, amazing, amazing. And, I feel like I'm able to combat the day a little bit easier now. I've made my to-do list. I've had my time with God. I've read the Bible. I've had legitimate quiet time with Him. And it feels really good. Now, after this, I'm going to go and get my son's breakfast ready so that it could already be ready. He eats oatmeal almost every single day. And then I am going to try to get any more work done that I can, like actual work, before my son wakes up. I have client sessions today. I will be going live on Clubhouse. We have our prayer call today. So there's a lot to do today. And so I wanted to come on and just share this first step, this first day with you guys, and see if, maybe my process, my journey can help you in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And so I think I'm going to leave it here for today. And when I come back on tomorrow, I'll let you know how the rest of my day went, and we'll continue to go from there. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Successful Servant Leader podcast. I love you so, so much. If you haven't already, please rate and review this podcast. Please, please, please. It helps so much, more than you could ever imagine. And I appreciate your listens. I appreciate your follows on social media. I appreciate your shares. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me, letting me know that whatever I said, it really hit home for you. I appreciate you guys so, so much. And I'm so excited and honored that you're coming on this journey with me. And I'll see you in the next one.